Full-time support staff at colleges across the province are now on strike after contract talks failed to reach a resolution last night. Good evening, I'm Haley Perot. Thank you for joining us. Locally, around 160 Confederation College workers were on the picket lines early this morning, fighting for job security, increased government funding for colleges, and benefits equal to post-secondary faculty. Jessica Clement has the details.
We all care about education. That's why we're here. That's why we've worked in this job for as long as many of us have.
Academic Support Officer Pia Urkala is just one of nearly 200 support staff at Confederation College's campuses around the region who were at the picket line early Thursday morning. They joined the over 10,000 other support staff around the province after OPSEU rejected the college's latest offer. The union says they're fighting for increased provincial funding, benefits equal to academic staff, and job security measures.
Basically, there's been so many cuts in the Ontario college system. There have been over 10,000 layoffs across the province and over 650 programs cut. And we're trying to fight for a better future, for keep jobs here, keep them in the community, and not have the jobs contracted out, which they currently are. For example, here at Confederation College, the bookstore is contracted out. I have one chef in the cafeteria, but the rest of the staff are contracted out. Our cleaning staff are contracted out, and also our security staff are contracted out as well. So we just want to keep good jobs.
We're not only trying to protect our jobs, but we are trying to protect the Ontario public servant jobs that, again, because of the current government and their adjustments, they are slowly taking away Ontario jobs from Ontarian people.
The College Employer Council, which bargains on behalf of all 24 colleges in the province, say the union is insisting on a poison pill demand that makes a deal fiscally impossible.
They want a 3-year moratorium on any reduction of staff for any reason, and they want an agreement that there could be no campus closures or mergers for at least a period of 3 years. And unfortunately, that's just something that the colleges could never agree to. We're continuing to have a decline in international students. We don't know what lays on the horizon, especially over such a long period of time, and it's just not viable and not reasonable.
CEO Graham Lloyd says they've asked the union to remove those demands so they can continue bargaining or go into arbitration. However, he claims the union hasn't accepted either offer.
These unreasonable demands, the strike will not make them affordable, and we have to get back to making sure that students' education is continued, and mediation arbitration will do that.
College officials insist that classes are not affected by the strike, but some other areas will see reduced services. Jessica Clement, TBT News.
Support staff at Ontario's 23 other publicly funded colleges have hit the picket lines as well. CTV's Beth McDonnell is in Toronto with more.
The mood here is upbeat as up to 10,000 support workers from Ontario's colleges across the province are on the picket line today. This is the reality after talks between their union and the College Employer Council broke down. These support staff employees include some members who work in the registrar's office, along with other office staff, healthcare, maintenance, shipping, cafeteria, security, and lab technicians. All classes are still continuing, the council says, and instructors are not part of this group. The College Employer Council says over the last 18 months there has been a reduction in the number of students and revenue by as much as 50%, and that means less services are needed. Those now on strike say this is a time to unite.
What I'm doing on strike for the better wage, and then we got cut a lot for the programs and the educations. Without our support, it's not running, and then that's why we are here for.
We deserve a properly funded public college system, and our support staff deserve respect, job security, and decent working conditions. These are the things that should be afforded every worker in this province, and these are the things that the Ford government has abdicated their responsibility for. This is the fight of our lifetime. If we don't come together to stop the sell-off now, we're going to see the end of public post-secondary education in Ontario.
Unfortunately, they've insisted on keeping some demands that we've expressed for a long while now. We could never accept. Those are demands that they insist on having no layoffs for at least 3 years, and no reductions, I should say, not just no layoffs, no reductions in their staff, and no campus closures or campus mergers.
and these are two items that the colleges can simply never agree to. These were added at the last minute, midway through bargaining.
This Georgetown campus on King Street is a big one, and as you can see, there is a big turnout here today. College faculty reached an agreement back in October last year.
And that was CTV's Beth McDonnell reporting. Homelessness and the temporary shelter village were just some of the topics discussed at McKellar Ward meeting last night, hosted by Councillor Brian Hamilton. Those items received mixed reactions from the residents in attendance. Lee Noonan has the details.
McKellar Ward residents gathered at the Slovak Legion Wednesday night to discuss issues around the ward with Councillor Brian Hamilton. With City Council's next meeting top of mind, one of the bigger topics of the night was homelessness, specifically the temporary shelter village planned for the Hilliard lands off Alloy Place. Reaction from residents was mixed, not just about the location, but about the concept as a whole.
Temporary housing is an ability for these people to get a step up in the world, is it not? It's a rotation once they've gone through some programs and stuff. It's not like they're living there forever.
No. What's going to happen if you build this and they say no? You know what? I don't want to follow your rules. I don't want to live in your temporary village. I would much rather live in my tent where I can smoke my drugs when I want, where I want. I don't have to.
And that's the question.
The math of this whole problem is really being lost here. You make 80 of these little mini houses, and how much have you really done? They were talking approximately 400 people, and I know from around Northwood that at least half of the people that were sleeping rough probably didn't make the count last year.
Other residents voiced concerns about the number of encampments popping up around the city, as well as the possibility of a designated encampment being put in the South Core.
It doesn't make sense to me is you're putting, what, $16 million to tear down Victoriaville, and now we're going to have a tent city there? This is where I am. Okay. The whole idea is just ridiculous.
Hamilton noted it's important to support businesses and residents to help them feel safe in their community, while also making sure those who live on the streets have enough support. Council will vote on whether to rescind their choice of the Hilliard location at their meeting on Tuesday night.
The vote next Tuesday will be an interesting one. It's of course in the new City Council format. To be honest, I really don't know. I've kind of, I've said this publicly, I'm at a loss to understand how council is moving. I don't think we're moving as a collective body very well. We're kind of like bumping into each other, and it's difficult to know. I think that Tuesday meeting will be telling, not just on the village project, but how we want to move forward on addressing homelessness.
Lee Noonan, TBT News.
Ontario's Mines Minister spoke to gathered industries at the Sencan Expo in Thunder Bay this afternoon. Stephen Lecce reiterated his government's commitment to supporting the mining industry's growth in the wake of external economic threats. Justin Hardy has more.
Ontario's Minister of Energy and Mines made a quick stop to address mining industry stakeholders during a Sencan luncheon at the Elks Lodge. There, he reaffirmed the government's plan for the new One Project, One Process framework for advanced exploration and mine development projects.
This plan, Ontario's plan, will emerge as one of the fastest permitting systems in the industrialized world. We're going to exceed the European Union, who has a 27-month approval process. We will be at 24. And I came here personally to commit to you to see this plan through.
The One Project, One Process model developed by the Ford government is designed to reduce the time needed to fully permit a mine by 50%. Lecce insists it will not affect the province's duty to consult with First Nations peoples.
We have an obligation constitutionally and morally to consult meaningfully with territorial right holders. That is entirely respected and it is codified in the Constitution. So our requirement as the government is that project proponents got to do a good job, a meaningful job on that consultation. But having said that, on our side, the things I control in government is the speed by which we permit a mine. And it takes too long. 15 years is an affront to the common sense of Canadians.
Lecce also spoke on the importance of Ontario working with Canada to combat economic threats from the south and overseas.
We need to seize this moment. And I came here to say, let's unite as Canadians. Let's rally around this opportunity. And today, the Prime Minister, I think as I speak, is announcing some of the first tranche of nation-building projects. And the media will suggest that small modular reactors is part of that vision and the Ring of Fire. If that is true, that is a positive step forward. We may share different parties, but we are on the same team right now, fighting for the same interests. We're on Team Canada.
Justin Hardy, TBT News.
2 Toronto men charged with drug trafficking by Thunder Bay Police after a major bust in 2022 have had their legal proceedings halted. A Superior Court judge recently ruled that it took too long for the case to go to trial, and the charges against them have been stayed. In April of that year, City Police discovered $1.6 million in cocaine, meth, and other drugs at a residence on North McKellar Street. Officers also confiscated over $100,000 in cash and a loaded handgun. Lawyers for the 2 main suspects, now aged 34 and 31, applied to the Superior Court earlier this year, arguing that their right to be tried within a reasonable time had been breached. The current limit for a trial to begin is 30 months. The judge found the net delay in the case amounted to more than 32 months. The request for a stay was granted last month, and the suspects will no longer have to go to trial. The annual Firecon event continued in Thunder Bay today with a heartfelt training exercise in honor of the firefighters who died 24 years ago today during the 9/11 terrorist attacks. The visiting firefighters took part in a stair-climbing marathon to replicate the flights of stairs those firefighters courageously climbed on that fateful day. Emma Chilton reports.
The third day of Firecon had a special training exercise that paid tribute to the firefighters of September 11th, 2001. Thunder Bay Fire Rescue Chief Dave Paxton says because of the timing of the convention this year, the board thought it would be fitting to train on stairs to honor those who tried to save countless lives during that tragic event.
You know, 9/11 was an important event, and we thought as the board, this is the first time in a long time that we've lined up with 9/11. Usually Firecon was a week earlier, so we thought it'd be fitting to add something as an option in order to recognize the events that happened. So both here at the training center and at the Valhalla Inn, our students that can choose to are going to participate in teams of 5 to replicate the 110 flights that those firefighters and those people within the buildings navigated on that day.
There was also a fire investigation program that teaches volunteer firefighters to properly find the origin and cause of a fire. Lead instructor Chris Rennie says the instructors will purposely burn a small unit and students will go in and learn how to investigate.
There's 13 students in this program. This course is developed to teach all of the province. So we work for the province of Ontario, developing programs for the north specifically. So this was put together for students to learn how to understand how fire grows, develops, and determine origin and cause and circumstances of the fire.
We spoke to a volunteer firefighter from Emo, and he told us how the pump operator course is going.
Spoke to my chief, and he needed a little extra hand in our town. We're a small town of Emo. There's not too many people there, so he asked me if I wanted to take a pump operator course. I'm just a volunteer. I just started in January, so it's I feel it's a great thing to learn, especially just being new to this and understanding how our pumps work and how to supply pressure to the firemen and the nozzles.
Firecon wraps up on Friday. Emma Chilton, TBT News.
A very important and reflective experience there. Well, now we'll shift over to weather with you, Fiona. And it was another day where we saw a blanket of fog over the city in the morning.
Yeah, that was how we started the day, and then it was literally a little bit of everything as the day progressed. It was really kind of bizarre. We started out the day with a low of 11. Warmed up to 18, but as you might have seen if you were outside at different times of the day, we had mist, then we had cloud, then we had some light drizzle, then a little bit more cloud, and then yes, finally we had sunshine. So literally everything all mixed into one. Winds were calm to start for the most part, and then kicked up to a whole 10 kilometers per hour from primarily the south for the day. So all in all, it was kind of hard to decide what kind of picture we wanted to use, but that's what we're going with there. If we take a look at other parts of the region though, lots of sunshine. To the west in Fort Francis, they're currently at 21, 20 in Kenora, 22 for Dryden and Upsala. Sioux Lookout, Pickle Lake at this hour sitting at 24, despite being mostly cloudy to the northwest. Up into Armstrong and Greenstone, they've got a fair amount of sunshine, and daytime highs are about 2, maybe 3 degrees or 4 above normal for this time of year. Along the North Shore, a little bit cooler. Nipigon's currently at 15, and Sault Ste. Marie enjoying 20 Celsius, despite being mostly cloudy much of the day. Here in the city of Thunder Bay tonight, well, it's going to be pretty much a repeat of yesterday or last night. We're looking at a low of 10 again, and mainly cloudy skies. And yes, once again, Haley, we've got potential fog patches developing overnight, especially after midnight. So it could be a rather misty morning once again, and we could potentially be doing another repeat of today, tomorrow.
Well, Fiona, you know I love Groundhog Day, so like
Yes,
the
you do.
movie, repeating day after day.
I'm starting to get that groundhog feeling, because
Yeah.
this is the second day, and we could be in for a third day of these continuing conditions around Lake Superior. Everyone else around us, though, getting sunshine and low 20s, which I'd like to strive for myself.
Well, we can strive for it.
Before summer is totally over.
Yeah, 100%. We'll maybe get there, but I'll let you tell us about that later.